There was there's this one guy who just does a bunch of like compilations of the funniest things that happen while he's playing VR chat, and one was there was a guy who had the model of Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, except the head was Scooby-Doo on top of Shaggy. And he's like, yeah, I got banned from several servers for religious reasons. I called myself the Great Zoink, and then I modified my character model so whenever anybody would walk into me, they would shoot up and out of the sky. Maybe it was because I modded it or illegally banned other people. Either way, I was banned from several servers. The Great Zoink.
The Great Zoink.
So, is he going to be special guest Yaskovich now, or...
Starts looking like it.
I did honestly not know you were recording this whole time.
Oh,
See
oopsie.
me, like, lean over
No,
and
like,
record one?
no, that's what makes me happy because
I just need to send a text and then we can start.
Oh, okay. No, like, thank you, Brooks. That's exactly what I wanted. Like, you have fulfilled my wildest
I
fantasy.
thought it was obvious.
I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy focusing on VR chat.
I didn't
Sound
notice.
like my dad.
I didn't pay attention?
You were too busy in VR chat.
Your dad too busy in VR chat to
I
pay
have no
attention to
idea.
you.
I don't know what he gets up to in the wee hours. We'll talk about why I'm
Why?
so tired.
Also, why do you need him to pay attention to you in the wee hours?
You come into my house on the day of my daughter's wedding. You ask this of me and don't even call me Godfather. Let's do 20 seconds of silence. And we're back.
Welcome to Friends by Default.
That's not the
right?
opening.
Oh, shit. I finally got it down.
That was the old show.
Oh, all right. Well, welcome back to Friends by Default, where we're all friends here, even if we mess up the opening.
My name is Brooks Vernon. I am the co-creator of this show you are listening to. To my right is...
I thought you looked at Liam when you said to your right, and then
No,
you turned to me.
I turned to you.
Hi, I'm Zach. That's it this time.
Just Zach.
Yeah, Zach Teal, what do you want? My last name's a color. I'm a joke.
And to my left,
I'm Liam Wallace,
You just woke up.
who just woke up. I gotta be a little peppier. I'm Liam Wallace.
that's
I'm Liam Wallace.
that's too much pep, not enough salt. Please roll it back. Thank you.
I'm Liam Wallace.
There you go. That is perfect.
I'm Liam Wallace. And
I said it was perfect. You didn't have to do
They
this.
couldn't hear me.
Could you add a slide whistle? Because I think
Look, we already lost all the viewers from the first episode. We don't need to lose anyone tuning into this one.
Okay.
With the use of slide whistles.
Welcome back to Friends by Default, everybody. This episode's going to be about sleep, because it seems like
Yes.
everybody's kind of lacking in
That
it.
is the topic.
That is the theme.
That is the theme and topic of this here episode. It's all going to be about sleep. For those who don't know or who might be joining us for the very first time, the show is called Friends by Default. And the whole point of it is, well, there's not really a point, and that's the problem. What we do here is we just, kind of comedically riff and do whatever.
We got to
It's-
keep up with each other at least once a week, or we're going to drift apart. And I don't want us to drift apart.
Exactly.
Like Yaskovich. He's not coming back.
We look at the empty seat in the corner.
I miss him.
Aw.
But yeah, it's a show that we just do to become closer as friends by default. And that was bad. I am sorry. So, sleep. What are your thoughts on sleep?
I
Zach?
mean,
this is not good. Okay.
I mean, I was going to tell you about a dream I had that like kind of messed me up. Not in the way that your night terrors mess you up.
We'll go from your dream into my whole situation and why I want to die today.
I don't think we should laugh at that.
Might as well laugh.
Someone has to.
C'est la vie.
I noticed you started saying that a lot.
I had just said it the one time.
When you-
then I was like, hey, I remember here. I heard the song on the radio. That's why I was like, say la vie, say la vie. You know?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's a song. Maybe I'm just mishearing the lyrics. Either way,
Did you invent a song in your mind?
I hope I did.
Have you already been describing your dream?
And then I wake up and here I. No, but the dream was just it was me and two other characters. I'm just gonna call A and B because I can't remember their names or their faces. But we're going on like an adventure kind of thing, but it wasn't like a crazy adventure. We're just walking along a shoreline. There were some boats. It was like a nice time, like some mist. Like we're all having a good time, like talking, shooting the stuff. Like we're friends by default at this point. And as we keep going, like there becomes a lighthouse, and like one of the people start. Yeah, go ahead, Brooks.
I was going to say that was a nice plug of the show.
Thank you.
You're going very fast. I want you to just.
You want me to slow it down?
I just want you to our opening was literally all over the place and very fast. It was very good comedically wise, but I want you to just.
You want me to slow it down? Do you want me to lull you to sleep, Brooks?
I want you to slow. Way the fuck down.
Okay, let me try this again. So, we're walking along the beach, just casual white sand. But as it kept going along, I started to realize that I'm forgetting the memories I was having of the people I was going with. Like, the farther we would go along this sandy path in our adventure together, they're like, hey, we're not going to forget each other, right? I'm like, yeah, of course not. And then I had to look again, and I was like, okay, that's what they look like. All right, cool.
See, I thought you were talking about how you were forgetting about them as you were walking towards them to meet them for the beach party.
No, we were
like you were walking towards, and like in your mind, you're like, oh no, oh no, oh no.
We were going to a lighthouse. Maybe there was a crazy thing at the lighthouse, but like as we got to there, B disappeared completely. I'm like, wasn't there another person? Like, yeah, but like this is a dream, so you'll have to remember us or we're going to leave forever. I'm like, oh, God, I won't forget you. And then I woke up and went, damn it, I knew their names.
I don't think this was a dream.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
That's actually like super depressing.
It
That's
was
some like nihilistic.
No, because I woke up and it wasn't like a sobbing kind of sad. It was like I got up and I was like,
That's so sad.
it was.
I mean, if you think about it, we only really exist in other people's memories. So
Yeah, but like, I don't know. This one like really hit hard. I don't know what it was. It was like a nice little, like, I woke up and went, I'm glad I can still be creative at least. That's a silver lining here. Silver lining, silver shore.
The dream I had while I was napping
Before the show?
right before the show.
I called
it's
you
fresh
and
in
you
your
didn't
mind.
answer.
So it's fresh in my mind.
Okay,
is
so
I had a turkey
real
sandwich.
quick before we go into that, there's I think we can say there's a pattern emerging at this point of we go over to Liam's house to record, and we're just like, hey Liam, are you awake? And there's no response, and we text him, and we're just like,
It's
Liam.
not just going over to his house. It's we're texting Liam, and then the next hour, we're like, all right, Liam, you ready to do this thing? Hey, Liam. And then I'll call him, and then I'll hear, yeah. I'm like, were you asleep? Yeah. Okay.
It's funny
Got me.
because we brought this up in the last episode as well.
It
about
happens a lot.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It happens too much.
I have a problem, okay?
Liam, we are recording this podcast at 6 p.m. at night, and we had to call you in order to wake you up.
Brooks, are you okay?
So, the reason I am like this
Okay, thank
and
you.
alienating all of our listeners by a very sudden change of personality between the first episode and the second episode is that I have not been sleeping a lot over the past few weeks, but it was especially bad last night because so here's how it went. I've been trying to fix my sleep schedule, but nothing's been working so far, and I just continuously go to sleep at 3 a.m. and wake up either at 11 or noon or such. I've been trying to fix that.
Did you try setting alarms for early?
I have set many alarms.
You don't wake up to alarms?
There was a time when I put my phone on the other side of my room for 7:30 a.m. and I woke up and half asleep walked over, turned off the alarm, and then went back to bed.
I don't know how you did that.
So anyway, I resolve this night. I spent the first half of like most of that night like around dinner and everything, like writing all these D&D notes, and then I had dinner with my family, and then I went back to writing D&D notes. I resolved that I was going to go to bed at 10 p.m. so that I could wake up at a decent hour the following day. And what happened was I ended up staying up until 11 p.m. and I was just like, "Oh, this is not an issue. I can just go to sleep now." And then I laid in my bed with my eyes closed and the lights off and everything for another 2 hours until around 12:30 to 1 when I finally fell asleep. And that's when the night terrors began. So the difference
I
between...
have witnessed you having a night terror before.
These are different.
Okay. Tell me, can I tell you...
Actually, no, they're actually very similar.
Well, Liam, have I told you about the night terror I saw Brooks have before?
Yes.
But not on this show.
Yeah. So I'm just going to repeat.
Well, you did on the last show.
Well, no one listened to the last show.
We're going in it like nobody listened to the last show.
Okay.
So, okay, then just for the listeners, how I've experienced Brooks's night terrors was one time I wake up normal times, like 7, 6, and I'll just be up waiting because you, me, and Matt were all in an apartment together just waiting for everybody to wake up, start the day. So I woke up, I was just on my phone, and then I see Brooks kind of just sit up instantly, just kind of like staring forward. And I'm like, "You good, Brooks?" He says nothing. He continues to sit there, like staring menacingly forward. And I'm like, "What? Yeah?" And then he just lays back down. And I'm like, "What the fuck?" He has no recollection of this.
I do not remember that. I remember you telling me that happened afterwards. And like, this isn't the first time that something like that's happened. Like, I'd wake up in the morning, go downstairs, and my family's just like, "Oh, you woke everybody up last night." I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, you were screaming at the top of your lungs." We went over and we're just like, you were just kind of sitting up in bed, and we were just like, "Brooks, are you okay?" And you said yes. And then we told you to go back to sleep, and you said okay, and you laid back down and you went to sleep. And I was just like, I don't remember that. The difference between those terrors and last night's terrors, I remember last night's terrors.
What were last night's terrors?
So as a contrast.
Okay.
The night before, I had a dream that woke me up because I was very upset by it. But that was like a normal dream or whatever. I didn't think much of it.
I just imagine the dream. You're just standing there with an ice cream cone. Somebody walks by, goes, "Hey, yeah?" And then you wake up and you go, "Dang it, my Ben and Jerry's chocolate therapy."
I eat that a lot.
I know you do.
Because I need both. But so what happened in that dream, I don't remember all of it. I just remember the ending that upset me. I had resolved to rob a gas station. And I had like a mask and a gun and everything, and I had one person robbing it with me.
Is there a setup to why you had to rob the gas station?
I don't remember that part of the
dream.
dream.
It was just, hey, here we go.
But yeah, I had our mutual friend Brenna. She was in the car waiting, like she was in like the getaway driver, and I went into the gas station, and all my coworkers were there, and some of you guys were there, and my family was there. And I just felt really bad that I was robbing all of you guys. So I like took all the money, and you guys were just staring at me, and I was just like, I just felt really bad. And then I walked out, and Brenna was gone with the car, and I just felt this very intense feeling of abandonment. And so I like ran to another gas station, and then I called the first gas station, and I was crying and apologizing for what I did. And then I woke up at like 3 a.m. very upset. So the night terrors of last night, though.
That wasn't last night?
No, that was the normal dream.
Okay.
Now, the night terrors are different because, okay, so what constitutes a night terror is that they always take place in the room that I am sleeping in.
Okay.
And they feel more like hallucinations.
Like a sleep paralysis kind of thing?
Not really, because I can move around. Okay, so what happens is I have a night terror, and then for like part of it is I wake up and I'm still reacting to things in my room as if I am still experiencing the night terror.
Okay.
Like that's why I'll do that in Scream, or I often talk to whatever I was like, like whatever I was experiencing. So what happened in this one, it was just one after the other, and there are 3 specific ones that I remember very vividly. The first one was I was in my bed, and suddenly several different holes appeared in it, and through these holes, different long, like, imagine the tail of a fox, but
Okay.
like if it just kept going, and then like started like wrapping around me, and I woke up from that, and it was like 2 a.m. and I'm like, oh shit, oh, that was a night terror. Well, time to go back to sleep. And I went back to sleep, and then I woke up and I turned on my lamp. I have a lamp right next to my bed. I looked at my door, and underneath the door, black tar was seeping in and was going up the door and forming into hands. And I was very scared of that. And then I woke up, and I was just like, wow, 2 in a row. That's, oh no. I don't want to go back to sleep. I was legitimately afraid to go back to sleep.
That happened to me last night.
And then I went back to sleep. I forced myself to go back to sleep. And at that point, this last one was a lot more pedestrian. I just got this sense that there were menacing beings on the other side of my door, and I could see their shadows going under, and I could hear them like pounding on the door trying to get in. And I was like literally like I was awake in my bed, like staring at my door, telling them, don't come in here, please don't come in here, do not come in here, please don't come in here. And then I realized that I was awake and everything, and at that point I was afraid. Like I had to go pee as well. At that point I was there's my room, and then right next to it in the hallway is the bathroom, and I was afraid to go outside of my room. I was like, it got to a point. Those weren't the only 3. Those are just the 3 that I remember. I kept falling asleep and waking up to those, to a point where I was afraid to even step out of my bed.
There's got to be medication or something.
Yeah,
for
I
this.
was also gonna say like there's probably a reason you're having them.
Or I'm just some kind of goof, and it will never happen again.
That's a
Let's
hopeful.
hope that one.
Yeah, but Liam, you said you had night terrors or something.
I think something happened last night where I woke up at like 1:30 terrified.
You don't remember why?
I don't remember why. I just remember being terrified to sleep and being terrified of the room I was in.
That is what happens to me a lot. I feel like I'm going too far because I'm too tired. But anyway, let's talk about something else.
Sleep related still, or something new? A whole
Or something dreamlike. I finished Twin Peaks The Return.
Remember when you said you were never going to talk about Twin Peaks again?
Something dreamlike.
Something very dreamlike. It was a fucking nightmare, and I loved it.
Maybe that's what the night terrors are from.
No, because I finished that weeks ago. Oh, for those who listened to the first episode and then listened to this one, there's been like several weeks like between the release of these 2. So like I started Twin Peaks: The Return a while ago, and then I finished it within like a few days.
Okay. Is there more to it?
Why were you covering your mouth like you had?
Because I did yawn, and I heard you making noise as you were yawning, and I just went, I'll just yawn like this to not be a dick.
I went over here.
Yeah, and I didn't. Also, I was looking up night terrors and seeing what treatments there are for night terrors.
Okay, well, before you go into that, I'll just say that
There-
I'm going to make probably Yaskovich is going to watch Twin Peaks: The Return sometime, and then we'll have a future episode talking about that. Just it's a little teaser trailer for that.
Because it says sleep terrors are common in children, not in adults.
I'm a man-child, so that makes sense.
That makes sense. And an overnight sleep study called a polysonogram is advised.
Oh, I need to get one of those?
It monitors brainwave activity.
Can I pick that up at Target?
Let me check. Yes. No, you can't. Why
No,
would
yeah,
you?
like, what the fuck? You think it comes with the lab boy with it?
I was hoping you'd say no because I hate Target.
I know.
Me too.
That's where your terrors originated
That's
from.
that's where all of my problems in my life originated. Is Target?
Really?
Not really. I had problems before then.
There you go. I saw your home videos of you dancing.
Yes, I had a lot of. No, those were the only times when the terrors did not strike. That was before.
That's just when he was happy.
That's
He
when I was
danced his happiness away. His happiness got scared of the dance.
Oh yeah, there was this. For those who don't know, which is everybody. There was this one time when we were recording the old show, and we used to do it at my house. And so on the day we were recording, I had Liam and Zach and Yaskovich all come over. And that was the day that my dad had taken all the old videotape VHSs that we had and sort of uploaded them to some kind of like cloud-based like home video kind of service. And so my family was all watching them and my sisters were all watching them. And there was a lot of stuff of me as a younger boy, much happier, kind of just dancing his heart away. But there's this one instance which I still laugh the more I think about it. It was approximately 10 years ago when you see me and my sisters all like sitting around having food, and my dad is the video camera, and he comes up to me and he says, "Brooks, why are you so excited today?" And I said, "I'm excited because the premiere of Cat Scratch is going to happen tonight, and I'm very excited for that because it's going to be an amazing show." And my dad said, "Cat Scratch, Brooks, 10 years from now, when you watch this video, you're not even going to remember Cat Scratch." Well, we were in the basement while we were watching that video 10 years later, and my dad was sitting upstairs, and I called him and from the basement, and I said, "Guess what I remember, motherfucker? Cat Scratch was a great show." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Bye." And then I hung up.
And then he came downstairs with the belt saying, "Did you just swear to me?" And he went, "No."
Swear to me.
Do you guys remember the Hot
Good
Diggity
reference.
Dogger?
No.
What is this you were talking of?
Right, no, 'cause I wrote it down because, like we said, what we should do is write down information that we find that we could talk about on the
Yeah.
podcast. So I found out that back in like 2001 or something like that, there was a machine that was like a toaster but for hot dogs, and it was called the Hot Diggity Dogger. And I had one in my house, and it could fit up to 4 hot dogs at a time, and it would cook it to like slightly done, campfire done, charred, or very charred. And I was like,
Yeah, I'm looking at it. That looks
"Is that? Hold on, let me see it."
looks stupid
I would
as
like
shit.
I would like to see this thing.
Yeah, no, oh, that's a newer Hot Diggity Dogger. Mine was white.
This one's red. That one was white.
Red is the new color. We all know this.
Yeah, but no, it's very like when I imagine Brooks making taco dogs, I go, he would benefit from this Hot Diggity Dogger.
I don't want to benefit from a Hot Diggity Dogger. I don't want to be at that place in my life where I look at that fucking monstrosity, that Frankenstein-esque,
that Frankenfurter-esque.
Frankenfurter's monster-esque fucking thing, and I look at it, I'm like, I don't want to own you. I want to kill you. Like, why are you here?
Are you channeling your dad?
We're making a lot of my dad jokes
Well,
today.
you started it.
We do that a lot on the podcast. I've noticed there's a lot of dad jokes on this.
Specifically, my dad.
podcast.
If we make like a Guy Fieri reference, we'll go over to Zach's dad. But
Yeah.
like for the most part, it's all my dad.
That's because we all know your dad. And his
yeah,
big, strong arms.
you've had the most interactions with my dad.
Yeah.
So
What's the next topic? I mean, I have another
Well-
topic ready. If you guys want,
I've been
Liam, did that catch you off guard?
You don't do that. You just keep talking. You don't just go, "Okay, so what do we do now?"
All right. That was a rookie mistake. I apologize.
You
Well-
fucking rook.
this is only
So
our.
what do we do now?
This is our second episode. We're allowed to make some rookie mistakes. People understand, and we'll improve.
I imagine all the comments saying these fucking rooks.
these.
These rooks.
Man, somebody call the Rookie of the Year award to these fucking animals.
Is his name Brooks? More like Rooks.
And I'm like,
Oh.
it's elementary school all over again.
Did you ever have an elementary school bully? Let me rephrase
Yeah.
that. Did you ever have a kindergarten bully?
I had
You had a
pre-
kindergarten bully?
I had a kindergarten bully.
I think I was
had
the
a
kindergarten
I had
bully.
a fucking gang of preschool bullies. like a marauding, like roaming
Yeah.
pack of assholes.
Yeah,
who
let's
always-
start with that. Let's start with preschool, and then I'll go into my kindergarten story. Go ahead, Brooks. How do preschoolers bully each other?
They kick the shit out of me. That's what they do. They stomp on my hand and like dig into my face.
Jesus Christ! It is a literal like free for all.
And I'm like, oh my God. That was my reaction.
Savage shit.
I was moved from like it was like some fucking preschool daycare thing, and my mom like came in and like angrily removed me from it, and then put me in the preschool where I met a lot of the people who would be my friends through like elementary school and like middle school. I don't remember, like I barely remember like much of the stuff from that first preschool. Like I remember being attacked in my face, and I remember one time when my hand was on some gravel, and one of the other preschoolers stomped on it, specifically on my pinky finger, and I was crying. I went up to whatever adult was.
This was last week, by the way.
Yes. This was 2 days ago, and
He was assaulted by preschoolers.
it brought on the night terrors. But I went up to like the fucking adult in charge, and I was just like I had my pinky out, and I was just like, oh, they stepped on my pinky and they hurt me, and then the adult was just like, I don't care.
The adult flips through his newspaper. He looks at you, turns the page, looks back at the paper, and goes, "Some tough shit."
Essentially, yeah. I think that was like what motivated my mom like moving me from that preschool like to another one, was that that
Sucks
they didn't
to
do
suck,
anything
kid.
about it.
My preschool was pretty different. They gave us a table with nothing on it and a whole can of shaving cream, and we had a great time.
Why?
What is this?
What?
Are you making this
Did
up?
you,
I'm not-
Did you
no, no.
eat it? Did you
No,
eat
no,
it?
no, no,
I
no,
could
no.
imagine you eating
I
it.
think I tried some, but I don't remember eating it like a lot.
like some
Okay,
fucking
okay.
whipped cream.
So if you didn't eat it, what constitutes trying some?
Okay, so imagine our table right here is just completely cleaned off, nothing's on it. And then a very
well,
elderly...
then where would I put my stuff?
It's on the floor.
No, I don't want. I'm not putting my.
Okay, there's a
soundboard on the
cubby
floor.
hole out in the hallway.
I love it when someone interrupts the flow of a story. That always makes it better.
But no, it was like I guess a Christian preschool or something like that. But no, because they're like, hey, here you guys go. And they would like empty a whole can of shaving cream out in the center of the table. And they're like, go ahead. And I had no idea what to do. So I just kind of reached forward and just like squeezed the center. I was like, this is the best consistency I have felt ever. And we just started just caking that table in shaving cream, and it was the greatest thing ever. I'm gonna do that later.
A few things. One, of course, it was the best consistency. You were like 4. You had at
Oh my
most like a
gosh.
couple consistencies at
Yeah.
that point. And 2, what the fuck?
Yeah, is
Like-
that not normal?
Were you in a cult?
No. Like, all you have to
Were
do is,
you
like,
in that cult that River Phoenix was in, like in his family?
I don't know. Is that a?
I wish Yaskovich was here. He
Yeah, I
would've
was like, is that a
gotten-
Twin
Yeah, I
Peaks
don't get that.
reference?
It's not a Twin Peaks reference. It's a real life reference. You know Joaquin Phoenix.
I know Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah. His family was in a cult when they were growing up. They did weird shit like that.
I know Joaquin from Kids Next Door. He was the hamster.
I don't remember that.
I think it's time to go into an ad break. But where could he hang out? I don't think I hit the record button in time to get the first part of that conversation, but we'll still talk about how, Liam, you know how your house is in need
I mean,
of improvement.
I just don't want to hang out outside. If only there was something that could be made.
If only you could build some kind of structure that could be indoors,
Well, yeah.
and then this structure would need to later be improved upon.
Yeah, well, you know what I could do, Brooks? I could call K.A. Wallace. They specialize in remodels, and they can even help with design and purchasing of cabinets at wholesale pricing. But wait, they also do more. They can turn that dirty basement into that man cave or that extra bedroom you always wanted. Need even more room? K.A. Wallace can help you build that addition you've always been dreaming about. K.A. Wallace, contracting and more.
Is there a bear in that cave?
Contact us at WKeithDo.
Do. God damn it. W. Keith Do. W. Keith Do. D-O. WKEITHDO at AOL.com. Zach, you big dumb dummy.
The Zach, you big dumb dummy was not a part of the script, Liam, but I'm glad we got that ad read out of the way. Wait, have you guys seen Shape of Water?
No.
I have not, and I desperately want to.
I desperately want you guys to see it too.
And I was very upset
There's
when you guys went to see it, and I was at work.
There's implied mermaid sex.
Not implied.
I mean, yeah,
There's explicitly mermaid
yeah,
sex.
it just like
That fish man fucks.
yeah, he does, and yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's it. Oh, and the new Wes Anderson movie that's coming out.
that's
right?
coming out.
I
Yeah.
want to see that.
I
real
also
bad.
really want to see that.
Me
That looks
too.
really good.
Have-
I
I haven't seen anything about it, but it's Wes Anderson, so it must be good.
It's called The Island of Dogs.
We're all hipsters, so we enjoy Wes Anderson a lot.
Yeah.
I know I do. Probably Grand Budapest Hotel is probably one of my favorite movies ever.
What else? What other ones did he do? Because I'm trying to think of the other ones I've seen of his.
He also did Moonrise Kingdom. I showed that to you.
Yeah, I
And
remember
he did The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
I didn't think I liked Life Aquatic.
I liked it. It wasn't as like he puts a lot, like nowadays he's got his whole style down to science basically, of where he could pretty much just do it kind of effortlessly and it all comes together. I think because Life Aquatic was one of his earlier movies, that's where he was still kind of figuring a lot of stuff out.
Okay.
But I still think there was a lot of things about it that I really liked.
I also haven't seen Fantastic Mr. Fox. Was
Okay.
that the other one he did?
Fantastic Mr. Fox was the first movie of his I saw, and I actually saw that in the theaters.
So is it good?
It is good.
Okay.
It's very good.
I want to see that before I see Island of Dogs.
Well, come
or The
over,
Isle
come
of
over to
Dogs.
my house. We'll watch it.
We'll do that. We'll do that Sunday fun day. Not this Sunday because I'll be in Florida.
Right.
How long are you going to be in Florida?
Oh yeah. Well, do you want to?
Oh,
you,
yeah,
you
sure.
don't have to like give like details. But what are you doing in Florida?
I'm leaving Thursday and I'm gonna stay there till Sunday because I was invited to a wedding, and I'm gonna be the only white boy there.
Oh yeah, because you have your girlfriend, who's a very lovely woman who I'm friends with.
No, go ahead. Say what you really think, Brooks.
I think she's kind of shit.
She's Puerto Rican or some shit.
Don't be like that, Leo.
or some shit. Yes, Lee.
She's right.
Okay,
Same
but
thing.
Yeah,
but
okay.
yeah, she's a very nice person who says some shit sometimes. Like when, like earlier it was yesterday, right? You were on a call with her when I asked you to get that chess app.
Yeah.
And then she told you to beat me up, and I'm like, well, I don't.
Well, no, because what happened was Brooks sent me a link saying, "Hey, you should totally get this chess app. Like we could play chess together."
Because I wanted to get back into playing chess because I haven't played in a while.
And I was on the phone with Laura, and then I like switched to speaker to look at the text, and I went, "Oh, Brooks wants me to play chess with him." And she's like, "Well, tell Brooks he's a nerd, and you're gonna beat him up." I'm like, "Laura, I don't want to say like, no, do it. It'd be funny." I'm like, "Okay, well, it would be funny. Dang it, she knows me."
And she got that, and I was. I don't want to say I was hurt by it because that's too extreme of a reaction. But I looked at it, I'm like, well, I don't care what Laura thinks.
When you said
I
that,
like chess.
when you said that, I went, Did he think she was serious?
No,
She's
like
not.
I know she's not
Okay.
serious, but I think I'd like just woken up at that point, so I was like, I don't care what she thinks.
I can be a chess man as much
I want to be the chess man.
Liam, have you ever wanted to be the chess man?
I've wanted to
have
be
you
the
s-
chess boy.
Oh.
Oh, chess man sidekick, yes.
Chess boy.
No.
He's called Checker Lad.
I was literally about to make that joke.
Oh, God.
Checker lad, we must go. The city hall's being attacked by the backgammon again.
They need to get information from... No, well, never mind. Hold on. I was going to say they need to get information from the Chinese checkers, but I almost just said they need to get information from the Chinese. Wait a minute.
Oh, this is one of those old 30s comics.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
They go to a man who looks like Confucius, but his name's just Lee. And they're like, this works.
And then like so there's a scene of like a guy who's like just kind of he enters his apartment. It's like very late at night, and like you see the flashing neon signs, and Chessman is there, and the man says, "How did you know it was me?" And he said, "All the clues were there. 4 different bodies, 4 different locations, all connected." And that's 4.
God.
Jesus Christ.
What would Chessman's power be?
He's really smart. Oh, no, wait, no. People think he's smart, but he's actually, like, average intelligence.
He has, like how, what is it? What's one of, like, the martial arts superheroes or whatever? Iron Fist, I guess? Yeah, like Iron Fist.
Okay.
He's got, like, I don't know, like somebody's got Spirit of the Bear or whatever like that, like Fist of the Dragon, except he's got, like...
Iron Fist did punch a dragon, yes.
But Chessman has like Shape of the Bishop, and he like moves very fast diagonally.
Or he has different
just diagonally.
He has different powers that based on the different chess pieces, and he says shape of a horsey horse, and then he can jump over anyone.
But only in an L shape.
And only in an L shape. It has advantages and disadvantages. That's what makes him an interesting hero.
What about Shape of the Queen? What does that do for him?
That is his ultimate form, and he can do pretty much anything when he's in that.
You think his ultimate form is the king, because like that's the one
No,
you see
that's
in the
his
first issue.
That's his most vulnerable form. That is when the others can get him.
But I'm thinking of it from like a cool standpoint. Like you think that's his final form.
Well,
And
the queen is the queen
know,
is the
I know,
cool
I
one,
know,
and then
I-
the king is the weakness
I
one.
know, but like he goes king, and you're like, oh shit, that's the king. He's gonna fuck us up. And then like he gets beaten, and you're like, oh, nobody can beat him now. And he's like, this isn't even my final form. And then he goes queen. See, Brooks, we gotta make this anime.
Ah, shit.
Are we gonna add this onto that hypothetical anime?
We never told you about our hypothetical anime, did we?
Okay,
Liam?
here's
No.
an idea we can do where we can
I guess
we can basically have an episode of where we spend the time specifically talking about like pitching ideas for like that hypothetical series, because we had some like a few ideas that I really liked that we came up with while at Noodle and Company.
Yeah. You've never been to Noodle and Company before that, did
I
you?
think I'd been like once. Or
You've
twice.
never been to Noodle and Company before then, did you?
I think I was there once or twice.
I've never been.
Thanks. We'll go one time.
Just one time.
Just once. No more.
We're gonna get kicked out if we go more than once.
Is that a thing? But then you've been there more than once.
You have to disguise yourself.
It's different ones.
What?
I would love to see a restaurant with a horrible gimmick like that. It's just
I would also love to see a restaurant very quickly go out of
yeah,
business.
it's the styrofoam restaurant. They serve everything on styrofoam, and you're like, okay, well that's not like really a gimmick. It's like a food truck, all right. And then you go to eat, and you pick up a utensil, and it's a styrofoam fork. And oh.
That sounds awful.
It's the styrofoam restaurant where all the plates and utensils are styrofoam, and every 777th guest is shot in the foot upon entry.
Oh man!
Like, there's a very weirdly specific, like, dangerous aspect to it. Like,
And you're like, what the hell?
like a lot of people are turned off by it, but a lot of people are turned on by it, and they go in like kind of like it's the danger of it, you know?
Well, I was always thinking like a cool like restaurant idea would kind of like a gambling thing, I guess, but like
You know, gambling's illegal.
well, yeah, but in some states, right?
I want to open a casino. You know?
Well, no, but like
Disguise it as a restaurant.
it's just like a regular restaurant, except like at the end, like there's a little like I don't know, like every table has like a Wheel of Fortune spin the wheel kind of thing, and like there's one section that says free meal, and the
you
other
mean a
one's like,
fucking carnival?
sure. Like, yeah, I guess how it has that, but like a miniature version of it. And like one of the pegs says free meal, and all the other ones are like, you have to tip an extra $2 or so. It's a very trivial thing, but like one of them is like, hey, you have to tip $20. And like, oh, fuck, I really don't want to spend this, but there's a chance I could get a free meal. And like, you do that, and you're like, hey, shit, that's pretty cool.
Or
Yeah.
Or-
what's keeping me to the word of tipping $20?
you should probably have it if there is a wheel
Well, yeah.
that everyone uses.
Yeah,
and that
I
is
think
monitored by the staff.
Yeah, like it'd be a big wheel in the center then. Like, so once you spin it, it's like, yeah, you have to put money down to spin it. And if you win, then you get your money back and the meal was free.
Or
Does that make sense? Does that work?
Yeah, but
Or-
you can't do the make them spend more money if they're already spending money.
yeah, you basically
Well, yeah,
be
they
like,
don't. They don't have to do it. It's just an optional thing. Like if you want to chance it, hey, you can maybe have a free meal.
But what you're talking about, I
Yeah.
forgot what it's called. But that game, you pay to play it, but none of the awards say, "Hey, you have to pay an extra $20." That's not a thing.
Well, no, but like
okay,
That's
so
super shitty.
So the worst you could do should be you win nothing and the money
Right,
you
right.
put down to play it, that's whatever.
Yeah, it goes
not
to the-
you have to now pay a 200% fucking tip.
well, no, but like something like that. I'm sorry, I made this up on the spot, and you guys are picking it apart.
That's what the whole point is, Zachy boy.
It's called
My restaurant went out of business.
I owe a lot of money to a lot of people.
Yaskovich is going to be upset. It was all his money.
They're really not happy with him. Oh, he's gonna be cross. He's gonna be crossed off
He's
the
gonna be
list,
hot
if you know what I
crossed
mean.
buns.
You could
So
have
that was-
you could have a restaurant of you go in and it's like a normal diner, but there's like a little figurine at the end of the table, and you put a quarter in, and it tells you the future and everything, and then you get like obsessed with it, and like your life becomes kind of enslaved to like you're always sitting by this thing, like asking it what to do and everything.
Is that a Twilight Zone reference?
That is a Twilight Zone
Okay,
reference.
cool,
That's just an episode of Twilight Zone.
Okay, that's what I thought.
When you started talking about like a different wheel at the end of each table, I immediately thought of that, and I had to wait for the bit to change before I could say it.
It just made me think of the Blue Diamond and Outback Steakhouse Emporium.
That was a good bit.
That was a great bit. I
Uh,
want to do bits like that again.
All right, then pitch it in the pre-episode meeting that we
Okay.
didn't do this time because this was kind of a spontaneous record session.
Okay, well, what would the next one be? Instead of like robbing a bank, I guess like
I don't know, just like a fun little like improv scenario that we can do that like is not completely unlistenable.
okay. Hey, Liam,
Yeah.
you have been going through space. this
Oh,
whole
are
t-
you doing
I'm-
it
I'm,
now?
I'm pitching it right now. Do we have time, or do I have not time to pitch it?
Well, like I guess you can pitch it, but like, wouldn't it be better to pitch it off the show and then like just bring it on to an episode?
Well, that loses the improv bit to it. Yes, and Brooks.
Yes, and
That's the first rule.
You
Yes,
you just pitch the scenario, not like the details of it. You can still like improv and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
or you can pitch the scenario now because, like, let's be real, no one's gonna listen to this. This is just for us. Go.
But Liam, you've woken up early in your journey to Mars to realize that you have 4 months until you actually get there. What you doing? What you doing in that time to actually get to Mars?
First off, I'm gonna say what everyone's thinking. A whole lot of masturbation.
Okay. You
What's on this ship? What can I do?
you got like
Can I bowl?
You got there's no bowl. They did not bring a bowl to space.
I mean bowling. Like, can I bowl?
oh.
They did install an entire bowling alley
They
into the
did.
ship, just no bowls.
But it is locked off at this time. Like later in the day, it will open up because
What time later in the day?
we talking Eastern Standard Time or we talking GMT?
That is a trick question. You're in space.
He got me. So yes, it's space time. So space time.
There's no
7
time
PM.
in space. It's all stars.
Space time 7 p.m. Okay, so safe times 7
The
p.m.
sun is always out.
I can bowl. I'm gonna choose not to because bowling's dumb,
Okay.
and I don't know why they put that in my ship.
Then
when
why
I
did you-
specifically asked
It was
for
for.
a
Why did you-
basketball.
why
You're not
did
the ca-
you
you're not
ask?
You're not the captain. The captain overruled it.
I'm gonna wake up the captain.
Who is the captain?
You can't. Everybody's locked. Like it's an irregularity that you got.
I'm gonna try to wake him
What
up.
is this fucking shit show of a Mars mission that he's
Pretty
on?
bad.
It's real bad. I think I copied it from a very bad movie
You
that I
did.
saw on Comedy Central.
No, you copied it from a very bad movie with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence, and I'm gonna do it.
No,
Chris.
I
Yeah,
like that. I like that movie.
that movie's bad.
That movie's pretty bad.
Oh, I thought it was
This
nice.
is a bad movie. So what I'm gonna do is fall in love with one of the people that are still sleeping and wake them up to.
I'm gonna condemn them to death
I'm gonna
because I
condemn
thought they
them
were
to
hot.
death because I think she's super hot.
Okay.
But why the bowling alley? Who the fuck bowls?
Why did you ask to bowl if you didn't want to bowl?
I didn't ask to bowl. I asked if I could.
What is wrong with how do you pass the test to get on this fucking what was the requirement for the Mars mission? You're the guy in charge of this.
Well, you had to make sure you could pass the fitness exam, you had to pass the intelligence exam, and you had to like submit to a lot of like verbal abuse and everything, or you could eat a couple of sick nasty burgers faster than anybody else.
I was about,
and you get let
yeah,
on.
so
I was about to say, I'm like, Liam didn't pass that. Liam definitely didn't pass that. Okay, he could have passed that. He definitely passed that.
Yeah, so I ate the sick nasty burgers.
Yeah, it was like a contest. Like instead of getting the golden ticket, we're like, we'll see who can eat the most sick nasty burgers.
They'll find the ticket inside the burger. Oh, he's already eaten all of them.
And the whole time I'm eating, it's just, these are sick nasty, dude.
And they're like, he's the one. Get him on that ship.
He's our man.
Sir, the ship doesn't leave for 6 months. I don't care.
Get him on that shit.
Get him on there with a bunch of sick nasty burgers. Stat.
Don't tell him about the bowling alley.
Oh, you were wearing a shirt that says, I hate bowling alleys. This is a great movie we made, guys.
Yeah, you have a second shirt that says, I've got the right stuff. And on the back it says, but the wrong stuff is bowling.
And then I got
parentheses,
another
alley.
shirt that just says sick nasty burgers, right?
And on the back it says, sick nasty, shut up bowling, you suck.
Yeah, shut up, bowling. That was bad. That was stupid.
You couldn't have just laughed at that for
I
me?
couldn't,
Why not?
because I already made a bad joke, so I had to make a second bad joke to make it look like I wasn't trying.
Why did you finger guns me?
Why not? I love doing that.
Well, that's enough.
That is enough. That is enough.
All right, so how do we sign off again?
Well, first off, we're gonna give the different plugs. So by the time you're listening to this, there will be a few different ways that you can contact us. The hope is that you'll be able to find this podcast pretty easily on iTunes. We'll have submitted the first episode by then, and if you go in and if you like the show, give it a rating and a review, and it helps us out a lot and allows us to be able to branch out and do different things and everything if the show becomes like popular. But again, it's one of those things of like it's more like a thing for us, and like we just think it's also nice to be able to share it with anyone who's interested. So we're not expecting like a huge audience. So any of you who are listening to it, we're like, oh my god, that's amazing to us. Even if there's only like a few people doing that, it's still like holy shit, like someone is listening. So on top of that, finding us on iTunes, you can find us on Twitter. At this point, we will have a Twitter account set up. I'm going to try to get at FBD Pod. Hopefully that's not taken. I'm pretty sure it won't be. You can also contact us directly by email with FBDpod, friends by default, FBDpod at gmail.com. If you want to write us in, give us suggestions for topics, or just tell us how the show's going, tell us how we can improve. Any of that is going to be great. Or if you just want to shout out on the show, like we'll shout you out.
Throw us questions, like if you want us to have topics, just
like
go ahead.
throw some would you rathers or some hypothetical scenarios. We'll talk through them. We'll do some riffs and some goofs, some good goofs. We have a YouTube channel. I'm still working on getting the last few episodes of Brooks and Zach 100 Years on there. Getting all the back episodes on that.
Oh hey, you could use all the 100 years episodes as mini-sodes now if like you ever. Because, like, putting those up on Friends by Default.
Yeah, just like little, like, essentially like a highlight clip or whatever.
like what you did before, because I really liked those. Those were funny. They're funny guys.
So basically, yeah, that's a possibility of ever. Like, there's a time that we need to, like, put out an episode, but none of us can really, like, get to it. But, yeah, you can go to 100 Years Productions. For that, you have, you can find that. We will eventually start probably in like bursts, put up different episodes of the back catalog of Friends by Default as we build it up, put it on that channel. So you can subscribe there, leave a like and a comment. You can also go to our Patreon, 100 Years Productions, where you can donate any amount of money in order to support not only this show but also the other shows under our banner, which is the You'll Like 'Em podcast with Connor and Josh, which are the Yaskovich we make reference to a lot, plus our friend Connor. It's a music podcast focusing on specifically on like more obscure like kind of music and artists and albums you might not have tried otherwise. It's a very good podcast. That and Noise Choice Boys, which is an improvisational podcast of Liam and Zach's creation. There's an episode of that up. Looking forward to the eventual episode 2 when it comes out.
When I get that sweet cash, but right now episode 1 is just a preview.
Exactly. You can find that episode on the YouTube channel, and you can support us and help us get that sweet cash on our Patreon. And all of this stuff will be linked in the description of in the show notes of this episode, along with the email address for K.A. Wallace, our sponsor. And yeah, I think in terms of the plugs, that's about it. You can find me on Twitter at Squeezy McCheesy. Zach, where can they find you?
They can find me on Snapchat at Pride Point or at Brave Snuggles on Twitter.
Liam, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at Liam Wallace Swag on Snapchat, which I
like
never
that.
do anything. I think it's funny. I think it's a little funny.
It's a little funny, but every time I see it, I go, no.
Doesn't it just say Lamb, though?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't?
No,
I
it
gotta
says
change
Liam
that.
Wallace Swag.
I gotta change that.
Yeah, on mine it just says Liam.
Well, yeah, but if you like tap and hold and like you can look at his settings and like his Snapchat username, it says what it is.
All right, there's that, and you can also email me at lambtheliam@gmail.com if you got any questions for the show or me personally, or you want to talk shit about somebody else that you don't want them to hear. I will definitely not show them. I'll show them.
Oh yeah, you're right. Liam Wallace Swag. That's terrible.
It was like 5 years ago. Leave me alone. I
All
thought
right.
it was funny at the time.
So I think that's about it.
Yeah, like, comment and subscribe.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, see ya.
That's good, right? Like we can have friends if we do it that way.